For example 3, we first need to understand coterminal angles. Coterminal angles are angles that have the same initial and terminal sides but different measures. With radians, you can find coterminal angles of theta by adding or subtracting 2 pi. And with degrees, you can find coterminal angles of theta by adding or subtracted 360 degrees. So let's talk real quick, just a quick picture of what coterminal angles are. If I draw my angle, my initial side being on that x-axis in the positive direction, and let's say my angle ended here. So I rotated from here to here, and I'd say this is angle A. If I took another angle, let's say angle B, in red here, we have the same initial side, and then angle B is going to go here and then back around all the way around another. So angle B is actually bigger than 360 degrees, but it's still starting at the same place and ending at the same place as angle A. Those are coterminal angles. Now I don't necessarily have to go in that direction. I can also take this angle blue in here, so here's my initial side, and I can rotate this way, so going in the negative direction, and I can also get the same angle. So I can add or subtract 2 pi or 360 each time to get those angles. If we go down to example 3, answering the following, we want to give the exact values for our answer. Letter A says find an angle between 0 and 360 degrees that is coterminal with 1030 degrees. So 1030 degrees, that means I want to get my angle to be less if I want it between 0 and 360. So I'm going to start with the 1030 degrees, and I could either add 360 or I could subtract 360. Since I want the angle to be between 0 and 360, I'm going to need to subtract. So if I subtract 360 degrees, I get 670 degrees. Is 670 degrees between 0 and 360? And the answer to that is no, it's bigger than 360. So now I'm going to take the 670 degrees, and I'm going to subtract 360 degrees again. I can do this as many times as I need to. And 670 minus 360 degrees is 310 degrees. Then I'm thinking, is 310 degrees between 0 and 360? And the answer to that is yes. So a coterminal angle between 0 and 360 is 310 degrees. If we take a look at letter B, we want to find an angle between 0 and 2 pi. That is coterminal with 13 pi over 5. So with this one, we're going to be adding and subtracting 2 pi instead of 360 degrees. So what we want to think about, the first thing, is this 13 over 5. Notice it has a pi with it as well as 2 pi does. So if we think about it, 13 over 5 is equal to 2.6 pi. And if we want something between 0 and 2 pi, 2.6 pi is bigger than 2 pi, which means we need to go down or we need to subtract. So we're going to take 13 pi over 5 and subtract 2 pi. To subtract 2 pi, we need common denominators. So we have 13 pi over 5 minus 2 pi, converting it to fifths, we would multiply the top and the bottom by 5, giving us 10 pi over 5. And 13 pi over 5 minus 10 pi over 5 gives us 3 pi over 5. And then what we want to think about, what is 3 divided by 5? 3 divided by 5 is 0.6. So is 0.6 between 0 and 2? And the answer to that is yes. So we know that we have an angle between 0 and 2 pi. If you have any questions, please let me know.